Hello everybody, this is June here and I'm back again with my next video on creative thinking. But before that, wishing all of you a very happy Independence Day. And what a lovely day to talk about the subject like creativity, independence, freedom. And what does creativity does to us? When you're creative, it gives you a sense of freedom because it's a freedom of expression, right? So, creative thinking is important and we all have agreed to it, mostly, isn't it? However, some of us feel that is critical thinking not important? Well, of course it is. But since we are talking about creative thinking, and this particular video is going to focus more on creative activities for children. However, I would like to say that creativity should not be underestimated. Reason being, I have seen that many people assume that creative thinking is just limited to artistic expression, like just about ability to draw an interesting or a beautiful picture or a sketch, or you excel in performing arts and you're done with your creativity. Well, no, that's just not it. Of course, it is a part of creativity, no doubt about it. But however, creative thinking, I'm sure you would agree that it actually involves the use of imaginations and communication skills, scientific thinking, problem solving, and interpreting the information. All of this are required for creative thinking. And open-ended scenarios, they are a great way to get the children's creativity, creative juice flowing, because uh, helping them to be creative, the best part is it has got nothing to do with the right answer or a wrong answer. It's about endless possibilities. As I've mentioned this in my previous video, that creative thinking is all about possibilities and critical thinking is about probabilities. But anyway, so coming back to creative thinking and being creative about anything that we are doing or helping them to excel in that process is just it reminds me of a quote by Pablo Picasso where he said that every child is an artist, and we all agree. The problem is staying an artist when you grow up. Isn't that so true? Every child is a born artist, and we always see them, coming up with amazing ideas and questions. However, when the child grows up, how many adults have we seen that they are into creative thinking, but probably conditioned more on, just logic and going by the books, and that's about it, and not thinking of any other possibility, to a solution. So today I'm going to talk about that, how creative problem solving promotes the cognitive development, and it also helps children to develop the attention skills and cognitive learning. That's very, very important. And the more you help the children, to solve or to, help them to create, that will give them, as I have mentioned before, a more sense of freedom and achievement. And honestly, you really can't use up, creativity, because the more you use, the more you have. So coming back to using creative thinking among our students in the classroom, how can we do that through activities? Well, I will not get into any particular lesson, because I'm not going to discuss a lesson, but I want to discuss about some activities, standalone activities, which you can either make a part of a lesson, or you can just, use these activities as a standalone activities, where through the activities you're harnessing their their creative thinking ability, as well as their other skills are getting developed at the same time. And on that note, I would like to mention also that creative thinking is a 21st century skill, along with the other, C's of 21st century, like communication and critical thinking. So, um, coming to creative thinking activities, I thought of talking about creative thinking task cards. So task cards are anyway a fascinating way, to keep the children engaged, and they love it. And these cards would just not be any cards, but they would have tasks which are very interesting in nature, and to top it all, they are expected to come up with fascinating solutions to it. So how do you create these cards? Now these cards, you can either you can laminate them after you have written the situation in a cardboard, and you laminate it, and then you can keep the resource with you, or you can just do a spontaneous activities in the classroom. You can just write it in the slip and you can use it up. So the whole idea of these task cards are that it's a challenge where students have to use the out of box and imaginative ideas to communicate their solution, to the situation. So what kind of situation you must put in those task cards? For example, you can write that how could a watch, a comb, an umbrella help rescue a dog, stuck in a tree. In another task card, excuse me, you can say that how could a basketball, a broom, and headphones help set a trap to catch a thief. Wow. Can you imagine? I mean, when I'm even talking about these, tasks, don't they sound really interesting? Then, for example, you may also write something like that. Look, you broke your sister's doll house. So how do you manage to fix it? Or you can even write something like for example, your school wants to save money, okay, for new instruments. So how are you going to use these new instruments in a way that you have never used before? Then you can have a situation like you enter into a room and suddenly the lights go off and you hear somebody whispering at your back. What do you do next? So all these task cards, now the whole idea is it should not be an individual activity. Well, you can do an individual activity only if there are less number of students, but you have to put them into groups, okay? Again, keep it in mind the number of students you have it in the class. And when you give these task cards to them, you tell them how they need to come up with a solution. Now, they need not come up with one fixed way of representing. They can either, like one team, they can draw. In another team, they can write a poem. Another team can do a role play, and they come and they present in front of the class. Now, when they're presenting in front of the class, you give them a time limit. You tell them that, what each member of the group are supposed to say, what are they supposed to do, give them an exact guidelines. So when they are presenting, you see, it takes care of the communication skill. Now, how much the other groups have heard them, okay? Teacher can ask, you can ask questions, or even the group members can also prepare some question and they can ask the other group for answers. Now, if they have heard it correct, they would be able to answer. So this way, you can come up with you know really so many different way of creative thinking and ideas and presenting into the classroom. You can also go digital. If you want to be paper free, you can go digital. You may even ask them to shoot a video, or to go on the Google, or to you can give them a topic, and you can ask, and you can ask them to go into the Google, and they can find some ideas based on them. They can create their own PowerPoint, and you can show it to the whole class. So you can make it digitized if you want to. And another way of creative thinking, is in a task card. You may even write a story, and you tell them that well, that's the beginning, and what's the end, and why they have thought of such end. Okay, so you also ask them why, and give them options. And just, you as a teacher must also go out, just do a little bit out of the box thinking, and that's what actually makes it more fun. So you can give random objects in the classroom. You can just pick it, and you tell them that, okay, you know what, each group has 5 minutes, and I've given you these objects, so you need to sell them. So you are the advertisement. You have to create an advertisement, and you have to sell them. Come up with jingle, and then let's see who buys your product. And when they do that, and when the other group wants to buy, you can question them, the why are you actually buying their product. Now you see, they can give you their reasons, that they find it interesting, the jingle was interesting, the product is so good. So actually there are 1001 ways. Okay, so these are the activities that helps them to think creatively, and it's fun. They never get bored, and you can keep that excitement in the class going. Now when it comes to lesson plan, well, in lesson plan there are many areas, and in each of the areas, like innovative lesson plans, a great way to inculcate creative thinking, because it encompasses all the skills like listening, reading, speaking, and then writing. Then you can have a grammar portion, but I don't want to get into the innovative lesson right now. But these are just some creative thinking activities. Please do implement with with your children, with your class, and you got to see the results. You got to believe it, the amazing results that they come up with. So guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you're going to going to execute this with your class, or even with your children at home, and do share your experience. And on that note, I really thank you for watching this video, and thank you for that overwhelming response and loving the video so much. And that gives me the extra kick to make more videos for you, and surely I'm going to come up with more videos either more on creative thinking or on critical thinking, and it'll go on and on. Okay, so once again, wishing everybody a very happy Independence Day. Okay, of course the ones who are watching in India, right? And thank you, all the best, and wish you good luck.